Welcome back, and right now we have our guest in studio. His name is SMS, and he will be telling us a little bit about his musical journey. Well, welcome. Hello.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Okay, so tell us why the name SMS?
I started music back in high school. So I did my first song, which was named SMS. So other students decided to call me SMS because of my song. And then I found it a good name also. It's short message service, that wherever I'll be sent by God, I'll not be going to stay there. I'll go there for a short time, do the assignment, and go elsewhere. Yeah.
So tell us, what is your official government name?
My official government name is Dennis Morangiri Miriti. Miriti is the name of my father. Yeah.
So you've mentioned how your name came up. And tell us a little bit about how was your growing up?
My growing up, I would say that I am brought up from a very humble background, and sad to say that I lost my mom in early ages, and also I lost my dad in Form 1. So it was such a hard life for me, actually trying to figure out. Before my mom passed, they had separated with my dad, and she left me, I think, at the age of around 6. So that life of trying to figure out why they separated and I was left with dad was a real nightmare for me, because I normally see when parents separate, normally the lady or the woman takes care of the children. So there was kind of a sense of rejection. I was feeling like I was born in an environment of rejection. But growing up, I knew that God is the one that gives identity. There is no identity in man. God gives identity, and if he chooses, he's going to use you. He's going to use you and you only. I thank God someone picked me after my dad passed, Harriet Kaburu. That's the person who took me, who is now my mom, the person I recognize as my mom. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your brave story. And tell us, when did you realize that you had a thing for music?
Well, I composed my first song in Form 1. There was a fundraising in school, and we were requested to at least have something to do on that fundraising day. And I composed a song. We sang it on that day, and I was like, oh, I can do it. Then after that, I composed several other songs. In Form 3, that's where I composed the SMS song, and another one I had named Umebarikiwa. I recorded 6 songs album still in high school. And remember, there is no support from parents. So it just happened miraculously. I composed 6 songs, which I produced when I was in high school. So I think in the period of high school is when I realized, oh, this guy can sing. And also, I have grown up in church. My dad was in church. My mom, the mom that brought me up also is a church person. So I found myself wanting to sing every time, and that's how it came about. Yeah.
And tell us, so why gospel? You are in high school. Why gospel? You say you grew up in the church. Why not choose something else? And okay, so gospel, maybe gospel and something else as well?
For me, since when I was young, I have always desired to worship God and worship Him in truth and spirit. There's a difference between just singing a song and singing a song that touches the hearts of men. I have always wanted to sing songs that will be remembered years after I am not here. So I had that desire, and I was a very good Bible student. So I really wanted to reflect what I am seeing in the Bible in my own personal life. And that's where the inspiration of gospel music came about. It's a thing of wanting to serve God with what He has given me, serve God with the talent He has given me. Yeah.
So when you start singing in high school, you must have been quite popular among the students. So how was that in school? You look like it's like being a celebrity?
Okay, for me, yes, it was. At some point, it was overwhelming. But there is one thing I know in life. There is Dennis, the personal life Dennis. There is Dennis, the public Dennis. Later in life, there will be Dennis, the husband, Dennis, her father. Now Dennis, her brother, and such. So I always separated myself from getting so much carried away by what is happening around me. Because definitely when you are a musician, you ought to get a lot of attention. But again, when you have a focus, you're focusing your dreams somewhere, you can't be overwhelmed by what is happening around you. So that's how I handled it.
So the clip that's playing at the moment, how was that shot back in the days? When was that?
That was in 2012. That was in 2012. That clip in that school, that's Karoti Girls. I used to sing in school, still in school. The school I was, where the video was shot is Mozambique Boys. Yes.
So after school, tell us, how has the music industry been for you?
After school, I can say I went silent from 2012 all the way to 2017. In 2017 is when I released my now the 7th song, which is Taratibu. I was like, the blessings of God may take a long time, but they will happen in due time. And the song was drawn from the inspiration of Abraham. Abraham was promised a son, and he got the son 25 years later. And then that son, we can see the impact he made is visible to date. So I was like, the blessings that take time actually are the blessings that has an impact.
And why did you take that break?
Challenges?
What sort of challenges?
One after high school, I came to Nairobi to look for a job. I got my first job with a mock resort slip, even without the Form 4 certificate. I had to look for ways for me to go back to school. I had to pay my school fees. I had to pay my house. I had to do everything for myself. So, music needs a lot of money. Doing video and audio needs a lot. So I was like, let me first do this, and then after this, I'll continue with music. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you write your own songs, or someone else writes them for you?
I write my own songs. The only song that I have not written for myself is the one I've translated. I'm no longer a slave. And then now we are doing music with my fiancé. So we tend to write music together.
Well, congratulations. So what is the inspiration? What do you look at? What is the message that you want to pass, and what inspires you?
As I said before, I have always desired to worship God and worship Him in truth and spirit. So when I sing, I want to sing a song that will encourage maybe someone that is discouraged, will loosen someone that is bound, a song that can be used as a channel to deliver someone. So when I write a song, I don't want just to write a song to become famous. I want to write a song to worship God and to minister to a soul. Because the Bible says that until the gospel has been preached to the whole world, the end will not come. So if the end has to come, the gospel has to reach the whole world. And that is the gospel that we musicians, gospel ministers, should preach through music. Yes.
Well, as a content developer, what steps have you taken to deliver your content across the country?
One, we have involved ourselves in charity projects where we bring together teenagers, young people with talents, and show them how to do it, how to write music, how to go about the whole process. Now, on my part, I try my level best to at least make sure my music is in all stations. That is, I have to move up and down. If I have to contact someone, I have to contact them to make sure that my music is out there. One thing, sometimes musicians, the upcoming musicians, do not understand. If you just sing and sit at home and wait for your music to be played on TV or on radio, you may wait forever. But you have to take the initial steps. At least show that what you have is something you want to market to people. That's why companies have marketers. Otherwise, you cannot sell product just because you have a good product and it is in your house. You can't sell it to anyone. Yeah.
Well, tell us, what lessons have you drawn from your career?
Music. One of the lessons that I have drawn is that you should be persistent. You should be very persistent in music, and you should be relevant. Don't take too long to sing another song after you've sung another one. And make sure that your content is flowing. If you fed people with good content, continue with the good content. Otherwise, you will have people not listening to your content to be inspired, but listening to your content to criticize.
Well, it seems like we are out of time at the moment, and we'll be taking a short break and we'll be right back. Don't worry.